Alright, boys and girls, here we go with 4th grade Excel lesson number 119. We're going to learn how to compare sets of data using bar or line graphs. Up to now, right here, the graphs you have been working on displayed only one set of data. That means they only taught you basically about one thing. The graphs of this lesson show how to compare two or more sets of data. For bar graphs, the bars are grouped together and the different sets will have different colors or designs to set them apart. So you can see that right here, that there are different designs on the bars. And we'll go over what those different bars mean in just one second here. For line graphs, the lines will also be different in order to distinguish between them. In other words, in order to tell them apart. The lines are going to be different. Some of the lines are going to be solid, some of them are going to be dotted, some of them might be really dotted. You'll just have to check it out when you get there. So here we go, down with our first graph. It's about, graphs usually have a title up at the top. You want to look at that title so you know what you're learning about. Part-time employees work days. And so how many days over on the left side, that's called a label. How many days did they work? We have numbers that go by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And down at the bottom is a key that tells us what these bars mean. So the ones with the lines going to the side is the work days of Bert. The ones with the diagonal lines is Ivy work days, and the solid bars are Mark's work days. So you can see in January, right here, there are 3 bars. So Bert is this first bar, Ivy is the middle bar, and Mark is the third bar. That's how you read this graph. Okay, I want you to give this a shot on your own. Pause the video, try numbers 1 and 2, and then turn the video back on to see what the solutions are. All right, here we go. Got to get my pen out. All right, and it says, how many more days did Ivy work in January than Mark did? So Ivy is the diagonal lines, and so Ivy is right there. Ivy worked 20 days, as you can see if you go across to the number, in January, right? And Mark is the solid one, and that's right here, and he worked 10. So all you have to do is 20 take away 10 to figure out how many more days. And the correct answer is 10 days, or 10 more days would be good. And number 2, how many days did Bert and Mark work in May? So we have to look down to May, and we have to look at Bert, which is the lines that go across, and Mark, which is the solid ones. So we're looking here and there to see how many they worked together. So Mark worked 5 and Bert worked 15 right there if you go straight across. And 5 plus 15, of course, is 20 days. Hopefully your writing is neater than mine. I'm trying to write with my finger right there. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Okay, now we go to a graph that's a line graph, and you can see that there are 3 different years listed on this graph. Right down here are the years, and each year has a different type of a line. So the year 2000 has this very dotted line, and then 2001 is a solid line, and 2002 is kind of a dashed line. These are high temperature during the first week in June. And here are the days in June. That would be, to know that, you have to read the title. This is June the 1st, June the 2nd, 3rd, and so on out to June the 7th. And then if you look over here on the side, the label says centigrade. Centigrade is C. It's a C when you see a temperature. When you see the letter C, it's talking about centigrade or Celsius. And the temperatures are listed here on the left, 20 up through 26. So these are a little tricky. You got to kind of follow the line along and see where it goes in comparison to the numbers at the bottom. Okay, pause the video, try 3 and 4, and then we'll go over the answers. Number 3 says, how much cooler was it on the 2nd day of June in 2000 than in 2001. So here's June the 2nd down here, and we're looking at 2000 compared to 2001. So 2000 has the dotted line like that, and 2001 has the solid line. So here's the dotted line right there, and it matches up with the 2 right about there, which means it was 24 degrees. And then the solid line on June 2nd, if we keep going up to here, it's 26 degrees. So we have to compare 26 to 24. How much cooler was it? 26, take away 24, it's 2 degrees Celsius. And the way we write that, I bet some of you did not write that correctly, and that's okay. You put a little tiny 0 up there, and that means degrees, and you put a C for Celsius or centigrade. Okay, number 4, how much warmer was it on the 3rd day of June in 2002? So now we're going to this 3rd day. 2002 has the dashed line, and it was 26 degrees. Then 2000, that's the dotted line, that's 22 degrees. And so we've got 26 compared to 22 on the 3rd day of June. 26 minus 22, and that gets us 4 degrees centigrade. All right, there you go. That's the end of this lesson. Thanks so much for watching.